you're walking down the street and a car glides past. It's sleek, polished, and unmistakably expensive. Instantly, heads turn. No one needs to ask the price tag, you can feel the status radiating off it. Now here's the surprising part, studies show that people often buy luxury goods not because they're better, but because they signal something. Wealth, taste, power, even belonging. In fact, economists call this conspicuous consumption, spending money to show money. But here's the question I want you to sit with, why do we do it? Why do humans, across cultures and centuries, pour resources into things that go beyond utility? Why does a handbag that costs the same to make as a cheaper one suddenly become a symbol of prestige? Today, we're unpacking the psychology, history, and cultural forces behind status spending, and why luxury has such a grip on us. Fast forward to today, and the same principle applies. Whether it's designer sneakers, limited edition watches, or high-end tech, luxury goods are less about what they do and more about what they say. They're cultural shorthand. A way of communicating identity, success, and aspiration without saying a word. Understanding this history helps us see that status spending isn't shallow, it's deeply human. It's tied to how we've always signaled belonging and hierarchy. Imagine walking into a crowded cafe. You spot someone at the corner table, sipping a latte, casually resting a designer bag on the chair beside them. You don't need to know the brand to sense it's expensive. The way it sits, the way it's treated, it's more than a bag. It's a statement. And whether you admit it or not, you notice. That's the power of luxury. It speaks without words. We've all felt that pull. Maybe it was the first time you slipped on sneakers that cost more than your monthly rent, or when you saw a friend drive up in a car that made you think, wow, they've made it. Luxury isn't just about owning something nice. It's about the story that object tells. And here's the twist, most of the time, the story isn't about the product at all. It's about us. We buy luxury because it fills gaps in how we see ourselves. You land your first job, and suddenly you want a watch that says you're established. Or maybe you've just moved into a new neighborhood, and you want furniture that signals taste. These purchases aren't random. They're symbols. They're badges we wear to complete the picture of who we want to be. And when we use them, we're not just convincing others, we're convincing ourselves. Luxury is also a kind of social shorthand. A Rolex whispers success. A Tesla murmurs innovation. A Birkin bag shouts exclusivity. These signals work because humans are wired to notice them. Long ago, in small tribes, knowing who had resources or influence mattered for survival. Today, the tribe is bigger, but the instinct hasn't gone away. We still scan for cues, and luxury is one of the clearest. Brands know this better than anyone. They don't just sell products, they sell stories. Chanel isn't just leather and stitching, it's rebellion, independence, timeless elegance. Apple isn't just a phone, it's creativity, innovation, lifestyle. When you buy into these brands, you're not just buying an item. You're buying into a narrative. Of course, the way we use luxury depends on where we are. In the US, it's often about standing out, being bold, showing individuality. In Japan, it's more subtle, about harmony and quiet prestige. The higher the price, the more desirable the item becomes, because the price itself signals exclusivity. That's why luxury brands rarely discount. A sale undermines the very thing they're selling, the aura of prestige. But let's be real. There's a darker side. Status spending can create pressure to overspend, trapping people in cycles of debt just to keep up appearances. Social media makes it worse. Scroll through Instagram, and you're bombarded with images of influencers flaunting luxury lifestyles. It's easy to feel like you're falling behind, like you need to buy more just to belong. And then there's the environmental cost. Fast luxury, mass-produced items designed to look exclusive. Constrain resources and create waste. That doesn't mean luxury is bad. It means we need to be mindful. Ask yourself, Why am I buying this? Is it about quality, craftsmanship, or is it about signaling something I don't actually feel inside? When we pause to reflect, we can make choices that align with our values instead of chasing someone else's idea of success. And here's where things get interesting. Luxury is changing. Younger generations often value experiences over objects. A trip to Bali, a Michelin-starred dinner, or even a weekend retreat can feel more luxurious than a handbag. Status isn't just about what you own, it's about what you've lived. Sustainability is also reshaping the industry. Eco-friendly luxury, like ethically sourced diamonds or recycled materials, is gaining traction. Suddenly, being responsible is part of the status signal. And then there's digital luxury. Virtual sneakers, NFTs, exclusive online communities. Prestige is no longer limited to the physical world. It can be pixelated, and people are paying real money for it. Think about your own life for a moment. What's the most luxurious thing you've ever bought? Was it a car, a piece of jewelry, maybe even a vacation? Chances are, it wasn't just about utility. It was about meaning. Maybe it marked a milestone, celebrated an achievement, or simply made you feel like the best version of yourself. That's the heart of status spending. It's not about the object, it's about the story wrapped around it. And that's why luxury has such a grip on us. It's not shallow. It's deeply human. It's about identity, belonging, aspiration. It's about how we see ourselves and how we want others to see us. When you strip away the logos and the price tags, what you're left with is a universal truth: we all want to matter. Luxury is one of the ways we try to show that. So the next time you see someone flaunting a designer bag or driving a sleek car, remember, it's not just about the leather or the horsepower. It's about the message. It's about the silent conversation they're having with the world. And when you feel that urge to splurge, pause. Ask yourself, what story am I trying to tell? Because in the end, luxury isn't just about spending money. It's about spending meaning. So, why do we buy luxury? Because it speaks. It tells stories about who we are, who we want to be, and how we fit into the world. Luxury isn't just about price, it's about identity, culture, and connection. But here's the key lesson: status spending isn't inherently bad. It becomes problematic only when it controls us, rather than us controlling it. When we understand the psychology and history behind it, we can make choices that feel authentic, not pressured. Luxury can be a celebration of craftsmanship, a reward for hard work, or a symbol of values. The challenge is to spend consciously, knowing what message we're sending, and why. So next time you see that sleek car or designer bag, pause. Ask yourself, is this about utility, or about status? And more importantly, what story do you want your choices to tell?